Jesus sent his disciples off in front of him so that they could go and they could make the arrangements. And I'm going to tell you what I think. I think Jesus knew exactly what was going to happen. I think that Jesus knew that this was not going to be a good interaction, and I think that is exactly why Jesus sent his disciples ahead of them so that they could have this bad experience, because let's face it, sometimes we learn from bad experiences. And when the disciples arrived in this Samaritan town and tried to make arrangements, they were dismissed rudely. When Jesus caught up to them, they were like, Jesus, what do you want us to do? These people rudely rejected us. What do you want to do? And I love this. They were like, Jesus, do you want us to command God to send fire down from heaven in order to destroy these people for rejecting us? And Jesus is like, no. No, what part of me teaching you makes you think I want you to do that? He's like, no, absolutely not. That is not what I want you to do. Instead, I want you to move on. I want you to continue on your way. Now, at first glance of this reading, it seems like just a really interesting reading. I mean, it's only just a couple of verses that we get this story. And so it seems like just a really interesting reading. And yet I actually think that this teaches us a huge life lesson. Because sometimes people are going to be rude to us. Sometimes people aren't going to like us. Sometimes people are going to dismiss us rudely. Have you ever had anyone dismiss you rudely or be rude to you? Or when people say those things to you, and it's those things that they say that are those like snide remarks and they get under your skin? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Sometimes people are going to be biased against us, or sometimes people are just not going to like us no matter what it is that we do. Sometimes people in this world are going to be rude to us and mean to us. We are sometimes going to see the ugly side of humanity. And when that happens, should we do one of three things? Should we, A, ask God to send down fire in order to consume them? That's your first option. So that's option A here. Or B, should we go handle the situation ourselves and go get physical or emotionally violent with them? Should we go take matters into our own hand? Or C, I think I was doing A, B, C, not 1, 2, 3, C. Should we walk away? Thank you, Bob. Walk away. Now here's the tricky part, guys. When we are here in church, gathered by church people talking about Jesus stuff, it's easy for us to say that. It's easy for us to know what the right answer is. But when we are actively in the situation, it gets a little bit harder, doesn't it? It gets harder because sometimes we want to act like the disciples wanted to act. Sometimes we want to be like, God, can you just handle this situation for us? Sometimes we want to throw off our gloves and get dirty, physically or emotionally. Sometimes we want to handle this situation because we are humans and those emotions rise up in us sometimes. But I was listening to a therapist just the other day, and he said that sometimes when there's a bad situation, his wife will just gently grab his hand and pull him out of the way if she knows that maybe he's going to get into something with somebody because she's been married to him for long enough, because let's face it, our spouses know us pretty darn well. And he said that sometimes when he, even though he's a therapist, wants to get in something with someone, his wife will just gently grab his hand and pull him out of the way. Well, I want you to think about this. That's what Jesus does to us. When we find ourselves in situations, which we will, people will say rude things to us. My son's sitting right here in the front row. I wish people would not say rude things to him, but I know in his life people are going to say rude things. People are going to say mean things to us. They are going to say things to us sometimes that are meant to intentionally hurt us or exclude us. Sometimes we are going to see the ugly side of humanity. And it's at those times that we need to feel Jesus' hand on ours, gently guiding us away.